What Embargo? Book 2, Chapter 11. The Hoyo Limitadas.
We're back.
Yellow Snapper and Big Tuna are back. Yellow Snapper was in Alaska, Canada.
Yep. Did a little Alaskan cruise.
Aleutian Islands.
Yeah. Went to hunt for gold, didn't find shit.
Dude, you're in California, man. You're in the gold state.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
You left the golden state to go find gold elsewhere.
In the fucking cold.
In the fucking cold. How cold was it? Was it nice?
It was actually really nice. Like, so Alaska, most of Alaska is a temperate rainforest. And with that, you can imagine there's quite a bit of rain. So the locals told me that usually 2 out of the 3 days it rains, but within the 8 days that we were there, it only rained once, and it stopped by the time we do our excursions. So, yeah, for the most part, really sunny and like lower 60s, mid 60s. You put yourself like a windbreaker or a little light jacket on, perfect. So, Alaska is beautiful. For anybody that visits Alaska or lives in Alaska, it's awesome. It's like this untouched America. It's great.
Temperate rainforest, man. Do you know where else there's a lot of temperate rainforests?
Where?
Japan. I think Japan's a temperate rainforest.
Yeah. Oh. Huh. All right.
Pretty sure it is.
I thought you were gonna say your crotch.
No, man, that's like the fucking. That's just dry. I dry that shit, man. I keep that shit dry and clean. So I gotta maintain. So yeah, man. Well, anyways, you were in Alaska.
Yep.
We're back.
I'm back. So cool thing about the cruise ship.
You were gone when your Golden State Warriors lost.
Yeah. That's it hurts. It hurts.
It hurts. Love hurts.
But hey, like we were saying offline, man, big props to LeBron and the Cavs and Kyrie putting that dagger right in front of Steph. It's all right, man. Like it's sports. I personally feel like the Warriors just kind of gassed out and the injuries played them, and Bogut and not having Draymond in Game 5. I mean, those are big factors. But hey, no excuses. They didn't finish it off. The Warriors let it slide, and it's their fault entirely. And they know that. The true basketball fans and the non-bandwagoners know that, but it still sucks, man. Like, I mean, the Bay Area, which is where I'm at. I mean, the Warriors are in the finals, and the San Jose Sharks are in the final, but none of them could bring back the.
Either, man.
Yeah, so there's always next season, God forbid, and we'll go with that.
You know what's funny is I was seeing these posts before the season. Who was Steph Curry really hanging out with? Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Cam Newton choked. Then Steph Curry, they're doing great. And you know who spends time with him during the season? They come down, Lionel Messi with Barcelona.
Oh.
They choke.
Yeah.
Curry chokes. It's the curse, man. Don't be around those 3 guys.
Well, not this season, anyways.
Not this season. Maybe next season. Who knows?
Yeah. But I think everyone knows that all those guys are still, dominating type of players, and they do have it in them, more in the tank to come back and get it done, right? Of course.
Yeah, they're not Johnny Manziel's, man. They're not going down to fucking Cabo. And just,
yeah, they're not fucking idiots like Manziel, yeah.
Johnny Manziel, man. How crazy would it be if he came back and won a Super Bowl? What would we all say then?
Yeah, he has a chance, I guess. But right now, he's just gonna go to rehab after some more partying. He wastes his freaking money.
He's gonna go rehab. I love that the NFL suspended him, even though he's not even in the NFL right now. I guess that's like a premature suspension.
Good. He should get thrown into jail and learn a real hard lesson.
Well, they got to arrest him in Cabo. Mexican police ain't gonna arrest him.
Yeah, I mean, that's no joke. They don't give a shit about the American citizens.
Yeah, they're like, dude, man, as long as he doesn't die here, I'm cool with it. So, yeah, man. Well, your Warriors lost. You had a good time in Alaska. I'm sure you ate some fresh fish.
Yeah, lots of fresh salmon. Got really good sockeye. Got a lot of halibut. There was actually a cigar lounge inside.
On the cruise.
Yeah, so Well, first of all, there weren't that many people that came in, and the people that did come in, I will probably say about 90% that came in were cigarette smokers.
No kidding, really?
Yeah, so it was hard because it was nice in a way because when I was in there, I was pretty much the only one in there. But when somebody came in, I enjoy going to lounges and cigar lounges and talking to folks and saying what's up. But yeah, those cigarette smokers just wanted to get their quick nicotine hit and get the hell out. So,
Dude, just get the little fix, get out. So what were you smoking? Mostly just little Cubans here and there?
let's see. So on the last show, you and I talked about the Juan Lopez. Which regional was that again? The little guy. Do you remember?
Oh, the Chiato.
Yes.
64 for Portugal.
So I smoked that because I remember you saying that they're starting to kind of turn a corner for the better.
Yeah.
And you're totally right. I mean, I still think that it needs more age, but dang, that I did not really find that up at all. It was tasty. So
I was completely surprised when I smoked it. I was like, geez, I really, I don't, if I had another box line around, I'd age them for a little while. It'd be cool. I'm not like gonna be like, oh, I got to go buy boxes now.
yeah.
But
yeah,
if you have them or you want to buy some,
yeah,
then do it.
yeah. And then I smoked a couple of big guys. I brought a 2009 Sir Winston with me, and that was really enjoyable. There's such something about bringing in just bigger cigars to something like a cruise, where all you could really do and be forced to do is sit down and just relax. Was absolutely amazing. So I did that with the Sir Winston, and I brought a Boulevard Gigante, which was equally tasty. So,
Oh yeah,
really good.
The box I have of those that I've opened is just phenomenal, man. I can't stop smoking those things.
Yeah, they're really good, man. I mean, when I have Anna's had the specials going on. That was last month, right?
Last month.
I didn't buy any because I just thought I have too much freaking cigars and I'm waiting for some stuff to land. But I'm slightly kicking myself for not doing that. But stuff like that will come back, I think. And when it does, I'll surely buy it then.
Oh, they totally will. What's funny is one of our viewers, Great White Shark up in Massachusetts, the New England style IPA guy. It's like, it's the only size I haven't smoked in the Boulevard brand. And you know what? Shame on you. Shame on you.
Oh, everyone's got that will be one cigar that I will list as a Cuban cigar that you need to try out. And as a matter of fact, it's a cigar that you should be buying a box of.
It keeps a really low profile, man. Really spends a lot of time with it, talks about it, anything.
Yeah, definitely. So cool, man. We
I smoked that Ramon Iones Dahlia, the 898 for Germany.
Oh, how was it? I haven't had it yet.
Yeah, had it? It was pretty good. I wasn't blown away by it. I wanted it to be fantastic.
Everyone says it's very young, and pretty spicy and all that. Did you find it that?
Yeah, I'll have to go look at my notes. It was pretty consistent. There was some spice. There was some, I remember some like really chocolatey, earthy notes. So it was enjoyable. I just wanted it to be. I love that Dahlia size. I think the Partagas 898s are solid. The Cohiba Seagull 4s are fantastic. I think it's the 4. Maybe it's the 5. It's the 4.
5.
That's 5's the green with Glory. Yeah, 4 are fantastic. But yeah, so it was a good time.
What else?
Let's see what else did I smoke. Trying to go through this stuff.
You posted. I mean, of course, we.
Oh man, just a Juan Lopez Robusto.
Okay.
It was a classic.
Yep.
Monte Petit Mundo. I actually had it, really early in the morning. I had a Monte Petit Mundo in the morning.
Oh wow, I totally forgot about that cigar.
In a really long time, so I had it with a nice cup of Nespresso.
Very nice.
And man, it was a great way to start off that Saturday morning.
Nice. Before the kids wake.
No, the kids were awake. Ella was doing bubbles.
Ah, Nice.
He was doing bubbles. I was smoking.
Yeah. I actually had my my sister, my brother-in-law, has a little 2.5-year-old. And when she was here, one thing we did a lot in this backyard was blow bubbles and chase each other after blowing bubbles and all that shit.
Oh, man. It's the little things.
All right.
But yeah, but today we're going to talk about Hoyo Limitadas.
Yes.
And I think we both know and everyone knows Limitadas are never like the brand usually. I think the only Limitada that is ever close to the brand is probably Monte Cristo.
Yeah, that's as close as possible without really being so close. Yeah, I agree. So Hoyo de Monterrey, a brand that doesn't get a lot of love, but for me, and I think I can speak on behalf of you as well in this, is we don't necessarily, that brand doesn't necessarily catch your eyes in the humidor, but when we pick one up, we typically enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. It's one of those brands, I smoke it, and then I'm like, man, why don't I have more of these? And then I just never forget about them.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
but it's great.
Yeah, for sure. So, so let's talk about the actual cigar. So I first want to talk about kind of what kind of hit me was the pre-light experience, kind of like the look and construction of the cigar. So I thought about a couple things. So first of all, I smoked I smoked the 07 Hoyo LE like an hour ago. And then I'm actually halfway through the 2011 LE right now. So with that said, very fresh on my mind. I took some notes and some thoughts in general. So in terms of the pre-light experience, I thought that what jumped out at me first was on the 07 and on the 11, how it's a deviation from the recent wave of limited editions and having that hearty Maduro dark chocolate kind of wrapper. So that was interesting to me because, I mean, I think back to the 14 Cohiba Supremos, the Robustos. I think about just in general the newest LEs that's out. I mean, it's just they're all Maduro wrappers. But with the 07 especially being like 9 years old so far, it was just like a regular Colorado Claro-ish kind of a wrapper. I felt like it was a pretty hardy wrapper, and it was constructed really well. I had no draw problems. I smoked it out here in the wind, and it still drew well and it burned well. Yeah, that's what I recognize out of that. What about you? I mean, what did you?
Before smoking them, I thought, when you look at the Hoyo brand, it's typically a very light wrapper. It's like the Connecticut of Cuba, I always say. You know what I mean? I find it just to be a very light wrapper majority of the time. Now, the short Robustos, which I hate, have a darker wrapper. I think they're more in line with these Limitadas. But
for some reason, those never did it for me.
Yeah, I wanted to, it just didn't happen. But so I guess, from my opinion, it's almost like this Colorado Maduro kind of quality in the sense of it does have that darker wrapper with the Limitada. It's not as dark as some, but when you think about the brand, in my head, I'm like, geez, these are really dark compared to what the Hoyo brands are. You know what I mean? It's just that dark wrapper really pops off of the white band.
Yeah.
Looking at the appearance, they're rolled well. They're smaller Limitadas, which is always interesting for me to have the smaller Limitadas. They do it every once in a while. They always pick one brand to have the small one, and the other ones are just big. And it's just, they're rolled well. I mean, there's some decent sized veins, but I think, you also have to take into account that these are higher priming wrappers, and that's why they are there.
Yeah.
But they're rolled well, and the aromas of them were strong. I mean, especially the Regalos, which is 2007, 9 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I was like, wow, man, this has got some, it's got some oomph to the nose.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the 11 even had some kick to it, which whenever you go into that, especially with an Hoyo, you're like, geez, this is a little odd. Not bad, it's just different.
Right.
But the cold draws are really nice.
Yeah. So let's talk about the actual smoking experience. So let's just talk about the 07 first. I thought the 07 was a surprise. It was my first cigar of the day. And as usual, when I really try to gauge a cigar, I'm just drinking water. So I thought that in general, it started off with a lot of sweet cream, and it had this like hay grass character for a good extent of it. And as it kind of picked up, as I kind of smoked through the first inch or so, I was pleasantly surprised by how much dry spice and like tannins I got out of it. The cigar just got spicier as I smoked it. And when I say dry spice, and spicier, I don't mean that it blew my head off. You know, I could still do retrohales and really enjoy it, right? And it had really good body. So my pre-light experience and just assumptions of thinking that it's just going to be a really mellow cigar, maybe, you know, it'll taste like it's kind of overaged, you know, when you kind of get that cigar that just kind of tastes like kind of like, I don't know, like cardboard and maybe some buttery notes, I guess, which a lot of vintage Cuba cigars that I've had kind of taste like that. And that for me is a sign of being overly aged and past its prime. But this cigar was not that. So really, so on top of that, on the strength level, it actually started getting kind of a medium full at certain times for me when I felt it a little bit. And I ate a full, I guess, dinner or early dinner right before I smoked that. So I was really surprised by it. I really enjoyed it, and I wouldn't mind holding onto that box for a little longer or smoking it out now. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, when I first started smoking it, I was picking up some hay, a little bit of pepper flavors. There was some creamy aspects. There was a little bit of earth aspects. So it was showing some qualities that I get with the brand. But as it progressed, as you said, I started getting a lot more spice, really a lot more pepper. There was this meaty and leather flavor that came out. And I was like, holy crap, you know, this thing's 9 years old. This thing's still got some kick to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought it was between medium full. But I was pleasantly surprised about how, you know, how it was smoking for being 9 years old. And of course, you know, I didn't smoke it back in 07, but it makes me wonder, you know, what was this cigar like when it first came out?
Yeah. I didn't smoke it either. So I acquired my box like a year and a half ago.
How was it a year and a half ago? Do you remember kind of somewhat?
No, I don't. Yeah, I unfortunately don't, and I didn't put any notes on it or anything. So, but I was pleasantly surprised by how well it performed and how much I liked it. I mean,
yeah,
the stereotypical light Hoyo that people talk about. I mean, is it light in the sense of body and strength as compared to like a Boulevard? Yes, it is.
Oh yeah,
but is it to the point where you just feel like you're puffing air and not getting much nuances and distinctive flavors? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. For 9 years old, I was like, this thing has got years on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's still got many years on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those things, like I hate when they do like 25 count boxes on Limitadas.
Yeah.
But, you know, for this, if you just bought a box of them and you're kind of taking your time over the years, you know, I know some guys are like, it's at that point, smoke them now.
Yeah.
If you still have a good bit of the box left, still take your time on them.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, these things will smoke great for, I know, for at least another 3 years.
I honestly think this is a hidden gem in the of what's out there right now for mature hitting that vintage level.
Oh, and it's a great size too. I love that Corona's extra size. It's a fantastic size. I think it's very balanced. I like the 48 ring gauge with it's like, I think it's like 5 something inches.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it's what I would look for in a Robusto. I don't, I know Catfish and I always got in this little debate. He's like, "Oh, it's a Robusto," and I don't consider a Robusto. I consider just a large Corona.
Yeah.
Corona's extra, obviously, but it's a size I can really get behind, and I wish it's a size more people were releasing to the market, not just Cuba, just in general.
Yeah, I agree. So what was your thoughts on the Regalo? I mean, I'm sorry, the short
Hoyo?
Yeah.
That one, when I smoked it, I found it was a lot more sweet than the 07. I wasn't trying to compare the two, but it was very sweet. And it was sweet. There were some spices. I got the sugarcane quality, but I also picked up some mineral qualities, which I also found in the 07. And there was a little bit of a lemon quality to it, not like a bad citrus, but just like this little lemony quality. And I thought it was stronger. I thought it was medium full, for body and strength. But it was a flavorful stick, really well constructed. A nice little Bellicoso. I typically don't care for Bellicosas of this nature, this size.
Yeah.
Nice smoke. I think these came in like 10-count boxes, which at the time, I'd buy 10-count boxes of these. But once again, though, for 2011, 5 years old, it's still smoking with a lot. I'm like, geez, man, what was this like? I think I smoked one in 2012, and I can't really remember. I remember it being kind of strong. But this one still has many years on it left, too.
Yeah. No, I had a very similar experience to you. I thought that this short pyramid was significantly creamier and sweeter than the 07 Regalos. I also felt like my example that I had was it definitely didn't have that. It wasn't as spicy. It didn't have a prominent spice as much as the 07 did, which was a big surprise. I felt like this cigar was a little bit more monotone and less complex as the 07.
Yeah.
I namely got what I describe it as a bready creaminess to the cigar, and that was a dominant note that I felt that I tasted. And no doubt it had very similar earthiness characteristics. Something equivalent to like something that's like like crushed rocks or like kind of like a graphite kind of a earthiness to it. I got that off of both cigars. And as I get into probably the last third or so now, definitely the spice is starting to pick up, the body's starting to pick up, and a little bit of the strength is starting to pick up as well. But certainly, I would still deem this as a medium body, medium strength smoke, whereas I would deem the Regalos as a medium body, medium full-ish kind of a strength for me. So, I mean, this is interesting because I remember getting these back in 2012, and when I first lit one up, I thought, oh man, this has a lot of minerality, a lot of punch, a lot of oomph, a lot of spice, and I thought, man, this is good because this thing's got legs. I don't need to smoke through this right now, right? Yeah. And that has definitely melded together at this point. So it's and and this is a cigar like with most Hoyo LEs that it gets passed. I mean, these are still readily available through various vendors right now, and I mean, granted they're charging a little bit more, which makes sense because it's huge on them. But I think I recently saw these pop up for like 140 a box, $14 a stick. It's a little high.
That's not too bad though for 140 for them. I mean, that's not for Limitadas 11. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, so it's not I could stomach the 140. I think it's justified for $140 a box for these for a box of 10. It's I'm sure as heck glad that I got multiple boxes of these, and there's no rush in trying to get through them right now. But I would also not hesitate to smoke these right now as well.
They're smoking well. I mean, it's it's one of these things. I think we've also kind of focused kind of recently on some Montecristo Limitadas, and I know we talked about like that Bolivar Super Corona Limitada, which went downhill really quickly.
Yeah.
And it makes me ask a couple questions. One, were Limitadas being made between 07 and 11, which are great years, being made better with age in mind than they are now?
Yep.
And is Hoyo the brand that possibly, while completely different than regular production, is producing the best aging quality Limitadas that we smoke?
It's a great question. I think yes. I think about, let's see. Let me pull up the full list of the limited editions that's been coming out.
Because, I mean, what we're talking, Montecristos, 08 Sublimes, they went downhill 2012.
Yeah.
The 2010 Grounded Mundos, they went downhill 2014. It's like a 4-year lifespan for the Monte Limitadas. The Ramon Iones, I haven't smoked the 15 Limitada, but I know that the 11 I think went downhill. I was never really impressed with the Ramon Iones 2011 Limitada.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I'm not an expert on Cohiba Limitadas, mostly just because I'm not going to cough up as much money as they're asking.
Yeah. So I think about, so I specifically think about 2014 and 15 of Limitadas. Specifically Bolivar Super Coronas, Cohiba Robusto Supremos, the Partagas Selection Privada, and then so that was 14 and 15, the Mag 56 Upmans, and then the Ramones. So all of these that I just named, all of them that I've seen, and I smoked through all of these, very Maduro dark wrappers.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get much of spikes and flavors, which basically for me, when I get spikes of, kind of like the edgy, perhaps a little too spicy, a little too much tannins, that's an indicator of me that I think is going to be good agers.
Yes.
So when I smoked all those 14 and 15 ones, I felt like it's good enough to smoke now, and I'm not too sure how it's going to do with age, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm looking at LA releases from the span of 2007 all the way through, let's say, like 2011, we have, of course, the Hoyo Regalos. We have things like the Monte Sublimes, the Boulevard Petit Bellicosos, the Monte.
Those were beasts, by the way.
Right.
Those
and 1966s. I mean, I remember smoking through all of these when they came out. Well, some of these when they came out. And I thought, man, these got legs. I feel comfortable laying them down and revisiting them in a year or so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, based upon my taste buds, which it should be solely based upon each individual's taste buds, I think that the new LEs that come out is made to be enjoyed now, and seems like one of the things where seems like it doesn't really need time to let it shine. But who knows, right? Because we haven't been through the test of time on these. So
yeah, we haven't, but it's one of those items, it's, can you kind of judge remembering kind of how they were to, how they are now versus kind of what you think where they're going to be. Like 09, Boulevard Petit Bellicosos, super strong. I think they lost a lot just by making it too strong. Mm-hmm. The Romeo Dukes were just like terrible.
Yeah.
The H. Upmann Magnum 48s were solid. I haven't smoked one in a long time, but I remember them being solid throughout the years. Mm-hmm. So it's just one of these. I still believe that right now, and I don't know when it started. You know, I'm going to say probably. I'm going to go back to at least 2013 and say they started making these limitadas, smoking away where they smoke great now, but they're not going to smoke great in years to come.
Yeah.
Like the Partagas Privada was solid when it came out. I thought it was a very solid. I thought it was the most solid of those three releases in 14.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I actually distinctly remember I got this like chocolate covered cherry kind of a thing going on with that Partagas Privada, and I love that cigar. I haven't visited since, but I've had people, you know, on the forum say they're kind of going downhill, and not downhill per se, but they've lost a lot of the characteristics.
Yeah, they're not really going anywhere. They're just kind of they've just remained level. While some of them are just kind of tanking.
Right.
So,
yeah,
I don't know. I'll be interested to see where the H. Upmann Magnum 56 goes. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. And this is the other thing, man. Like so I'm probably got another 10 minutes or 5 minutes off of this short pyramid, and for the last 10 minutes or so, I'm pairing it, and I pour myself some Weller 107 brand, which is 107 proof. So it's pretty high octane bourbon, and it's holding up to the bourbon just fine.
Yeah.
You know, so and it's a freaking Hoyo, in which supposedly is the most lightest of all the cigars.
Yeah, it's going head to head with the bourbon, which I would never pair the two. But I think, you know, limitadas. I think limitadas are meant to do it. It's just one of those. How do they make it? And to me, it speaks to what I think limitadas should always be. It's something that is supposed to be special, and it's supposed to be something that you hold on to. You don't smoke it all the time. It's not one of those things when you don't want to buy a box of limited editions and say, man, smoke them now. Right. That's not why I buy a box of limited editions. You know, that's one of those. If I buy a box of Boulevard Royal Coronas, they smoke now, smoke them now. I'm down with that. That's awesome. That's a great Robusto smoke through the box right now. Right. But with limitadas, it's one of those. I think there should be some character behind that limited edition band to make them last for years. And Gallos did it from an 07, man, almost 10 years, and that thing's still wrong.
And especially with the last couple of years of limited editions, it supports the overall wave of Cuban cigars being made to be smoked, to be smokable and to be enjoyed right as you get it. As compared to back in the days, people purposely buy their Cuban cigars to let it sit and age, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The bottom, and it's one of those things you really enjoy them now, but the beauty about it was, you know, you're aging for a little while too. There's a story behind it. There was a date.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean and personally for me, I enjoy both. I enjoy buying certain things to know and to gauge potential, and the excitement of smoking the cigars throughout the years and going along with that journey.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of wine, for instance, is like that, right? Like you get the big California Cast or certainly the Bordeaux's. It's meant for you to lay down and for let the flavors to meld together and to have it in your collection and it's part of that fun, right?
Oh, it's yeah, exactly. You think of Napa Cabernets, Napa Chardonnays, Bordeaux's, Burgundies. You know, those are the bottles that you sit them down. I mean, I collect a lot of Chateau Montelena Chardonnays, and I have a couple 07 bottles that, you know, we're going to open up in 2017. It's going to be like 10 years. That's where
That's the thing is, like, I love that. I love having a company over that, that'll appreciate it, of course, and to take something out of the library, right? And just take something out of the cellar, both wine and cigar alike. And yeah, I miss that. Like I wish there was more of that going on in the cigar world. And I mean, I think there's still some of that going on, no doubt. But it's not as much as what it used to have, it seems like.
Yeah. There's less romance.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, less romance for something produced in a developing country that's dirt cheap with child labor and all that. I hear that.
It's the beauty. It's the journey. It's that quest, man. And it's just one of those things. You just got to let them, I don't know. It's not like I'm trying to, you don't, I know some people collect. And, people always say, oh, it's not a good investment. Well, it's not that you're investing it.
Right.
It's you're appreciating it.
Right.
So
you and I buy cigars so that we could someday enjoy it at its peak.
Yeah.
Right? That's the hope that you and I have. We're not investors. I mean, yes, can we sell this stuff and get our money back at least? Yes, we can, but that's not the point of why we're in this hobby, right?
Yeah. It's like, I have a box of Rocky Patel, It's a Girls, Agent.
Yeah. Nice.
And it's not like, listen, I'm not aging them because it's like, dude, these Rocky Patel, It's a Girls are going to be phenomenal. No, I'm aging them so that, I have like one a year kind of, but that way when, my eldest daughter turns 18,
mm-hmm.
she can, hey, I got this when you were born.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's
Rocky signed this box for you. Even if you don't know Rocky may not be around. This was meant to be that story. This is an 18-year-old. I've been taking care of it, just like I've been taking care of your ass for 18 fucking years. Now appreciate an hour-long Toro smoke.
Yeah. No, amen to that. Jeez. That's what it's about, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean,
these are wins. I think these are both wins for us.
They were, and they're surprising wins for me.
To be honest, I went into this thinking, how can I be negative about these for 1 hour?
Yeah.
But I smoked them and I was like, wow.
Yeah. This
is great. So if you got them, props to you, man.
You got them, smoke them, lay more down, smoke them. It's all good. It's you got yourselves a winner.
That's a winner.
Yep.
Bean dinner.
But yeah,
we'll see if anything else can rise to the occasion with them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, I'm going back through some of these limiteds and trying to remember some ones that really just were. I don't have, I always like the short Robusto T Trinidad from 2010. I don't have anymore, but that was really good.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't have it. I only got like a 5-pack from somebody, and I smoked through them all.
Here's the limited that I question people over. The Quaba Pyramades.
Oh. Okay.
I'm sorry, man. Really? Do people really love these? I mean, do you love them?
Have you smoked them?
Yeah. Not recently.
So I purchased a box about 3 years ago. And when I got that box, I lit one up and I thought it tasted like smoking paper.
Yeah.
I didn't get anything out of it. I smoked one, I want to say around last summer.
Okay.
And it was incredibly light. And it's one of those where you got to just have an incredibly clean palate. And no beverages aside from palate cleansing beverages. And I enjoyed it. There was definitely no strength. The body was light, but there was some good light notes of like fruit notes, some creaminess. I got like a real hazelnuttiness out of it. I enjoyed it. With that said, I still do not. I don't really want to. After I smoke through my box, I'll be happy to have that box out of my cabinet.
I'm happy for it to be gone.
Yeah.
I enjoyed you, but get the fuck out.
Right. But it's not
like that drunk friend who comes. It's the drunk friend who comes over and he's hysterical and you're laughing, but then when the evening's done, you're like, thank God he went home.
Thank God I could finally take a shower and go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. I need to clean myself from this.
So, if I had to do it over again, I'd probably just get like a 5 of it, or maybe like 2, 3 of them, and then. But I actually bought that box purely because I didn't know what Coaba was, and I just wanted to try out that marca. I mean, to this day, I still want to buy some. Like, what is that? How do you say that? The what is that? That brand that nobody talks about? It's like some like cheap brand.
Quintero?
No, not Quintero. Well, I mean, basically on Quintero and Jose Piedra, the budget cigars, right?
Oh, the Guana.
The Guana, whatever. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
The guitar thing?
Yeah, those. Like, I have no idea what those taste like, but I would like to track down a couple just to smoke them, right? Like, because, it'll widen my knowledge and my taste buds on what else Cuba does and what other markets represent what, right?
Man, I haven't smoked a Quintero in years, and the last time I smoked one, I remember I was just making fun of it the whole time. I don't think I really enjoyed it or paid attention to it.
You know what's funny about like stuff like Quintero and Jose Piedra? I was on one of the forums, and you know how a lot of the forums had that pay it forward thing?
Yeah.
Or like Make a Wish, right? I think it was a Make a Wish one where you see someone make a wish of whatever cigars you're looking for, you step up and say, "Hey, I'll fulfill your wish." And then after you've done that, you make your own wish. So my wish was, I like to try the budget-friendly Cuban cigar marcas, right? So one of the guys fulfilled it, quickly fulfilled it, because he probably thought, well, I'll send you cheap shit and I'll wish for expensive shit.
Yeah.
But he sent me a wide range of, vintage Quinteros, vintage Jose Piedras, and then new ones as well. And I remember smoking through probably a 1/4 inch of each of those, and I pitched it. I just laughed. I was like, well, there was that.
Yeah, I did my duty. There you go. Jose Piedras are Jose Piedras, man. You gotta accept them for what they are.
Right, but the thing is, I personally don't believe in the concept of a yard cigar. I will not do work and smoke cigar. The only time I smoke cigar is when I want to just sit down and enjoy, and be peaceful and have a cigar. So even if I were to do freaking yard work and smoke a cigar, I'm going to smoke something that I enjoy. I'm not just going to waste puffing at something just for the sake of puffing. So.
There's this guy at my local shop. I haven't seen him in a little while, but he usually came in on the weekends when I had more time. I was down there. He'd come in he's like, I got to do some yard work. I need a yard cigar. And he'd grab like a Fuente Opus X Lost City, and then he'd leave.
Wow.
And, we're always like, nah, he's not doing yard work. And then, we'd inevitably be asked the question, dude, what if he is doing yard work and he is smoking that whole yard? Like, really? So
that's a new breed. I have not personally met one of those.
So yeah, one of those one of a kinds.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What else? Everything good with you? Kids doing well? Wife doing well?
Everyone is doing well. I'm trying to think about our next show.
Next show.
And, one of those. I know you go to IPCPR and then I'm out of town.
Yeah. So.
When is the IPCPR?
That. I'm actually going camping right before. I'm going to Yosemite to go camping right before IPCPR.
Yeah. Clean the palate before you kill it.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink a ton of whiskey and smoke cigars at Yosemite. So,
Never mind, you won't be cleaning the palate.
24th. So we could squeeze in a show on probably on Monday the 11th, right? And then
11th. And then we got to do this after the show. We got to get the Great White Shark, and we got to do East Coast West Coast IPA battle. East Coast West Coast hop scene.
About Mr. Trillium fanboy? Is that who we're talking
about? Mr. Trillium fanboy. We got to get him on, and we got to do East Coast West Coast.
Let's do it. I'm down for that.
You're the West Coast, he's the East Coast, and I'm neutral. Even though I am on the East Coast, I'm in the South, and I'm a triple fan anyways. And
man, for that, I'll send you some West Coast stuff that I really enjoy, and then you could pick up some East Coast stuff locally.
We'll figure it out.
You could be that guy that'll do both stuff. Yeah. So.
And we'll do the battle. We'll do the deed.
Yep.
But for the 11th, we'll have to map it out. Yeah.
And by the way, IPA, that is one style of beer that has been incredibly difficult for me to pair with a Cuban cigar.
Dude, it's like
time overshadows it.
Maybe we won't even smoke. We'll just drink.
Okay, we'll just talk about Cuban cigars anyways.
We'll talk about them while drinking. We won't smoke them.
We'll talk about how much Steve likes. I don't know how he smokes, but maybe he smokes. Maybe he's a Pietro fan. I don't know.
He probably is a Jose Pietro guy. Who knows? We'll get people on this, and we'll go from there. So, but yeah, man, I know that was an hour. It wasn't a full hour, but you know what we need to do, and this is to some people who will get this, some people won't. I don't know if you'll get this, but I got to do it on the air. So hold on.
Okay.
We're gonna do a raffle, and I'm gonna raffle off this Camacho Power Band box. But it's so damn heavy.
Dude, what is that?
Dude, it's this.
Oh, is that the power band?
Dude, this is the box, man. This is like what you put in the back of your pickup truck, and you can store tools and shit in it. But it's so heavy. When you win it, you're gonna have to pay me $15 so I can mail it to you.
Is that actual like metal?
Yeah, man. It's the same shit, dude.
Open it up.
Diamond cut.
Open it up.
Dude, it's filled with bands.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So yeah, man.
Davidoff loves Seth.
No, exactly. We're going to raffle it off, and then you're going to pay for the shipping. So, no, that's just my jab at someone. So, no, I'm not saying. We'll talk about it off air.
All right.
That's just me being a punk ass bitch. So
if you want to win a powerful
power band box, you can. You just got to pay me. So I can mail it to you.
What is your sickbed email?
Well, I don't check it, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, send him a Facebook message.
Yeah, ping me on Facebook or tag me on Instagram. Senor Douche. I'll be checking out hashtag Senor Douche. Smoking a Cuban cigar. I'll choose the winner. That's what we'll do. I'll pick the best photo on Instagram with the hashtag Senor Douche, hashtag Big Tuna. And we'll go from there.
All right. Just so I say something nice before I go to IPC.
Yeah.
That is a very fine power band box. Camacho, you did a great job. I'll see you at the show.
Yeah, dude. It's a practical box in some ways, I guess. I don't know, man. Yeah. So
good on you, Davidoff.
Good on you. So that's What Embargo Book 2, Chapter 11, Hoyo Limitadas. We'll be back, and we will have a very good show next time with some great plans.
All right.
Which we'll figure out. Good night, y'all.
Later.